Hi, I'm Brenda Rodriguez, Farmer Manager with Green Our Planet. And today we're here to talk about the question I'm asked the most about in a garden, and that's how much water should I be giving my plants? Well, in big agriculture, the efficient use of water is a technological science. But I can show you an easier way to figure out how much to water your plants. Are you ready? The first part of understanding how much water to give your plants is understanding how deep do their roots go? How much roots do they really have? So typical plants in our landscape and garden would be grasses, which is about 6 to 8 inches. Flowers, and usually in this category is vegetables. Their roots will go anywhere from 8 to 12 inches deep. Then we have shrubs. And then my favorite is the trees. Tree roots can go as deep as 3 to 4 feet into the ground. This area, these depths, that's where we want to get the water to. So how do we get water into those root zones? Water travels differently in different kinds of soils. Soil is composed of 3 types of particles: sand, silt, and clay. When water goes into sandy soil, sand particles are really big, so the water travels through it really fast. So when you put water in sandy soil, it tends to go straight down, doesn't travel sideways so much. Clay soil, on the other hand, is very fine, and because of that, gravity isn't a huge factor. So what happens is the water will tend to travel sideways more. So you can see the difference in how water travels in your soil. Do you need to be a soil scientist? Actually, no. Like I said, I was going to show you an easy way to check and see how far your water's traveling in your soil. That's going to help you figure out how long you should water. So the best way to do this test is when your soil is dry. So give your soil in your garden a day or two to dry out. Then what you're going to do is you're going to set your irrigation timer for a set amount of time, something that's easy for you to do math with. I'm going to set our timer for 5 minutes. I will run my irrigation for 5 minutes, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. You can go in and have a cup of coffee, or watch a favorite TV show, or maybe read a book, or maybe cook a little something for breakfast. Then you're going to go out about 60 to 90 minutes later. Okay, that's how long it takes the water to travel as far as it can go in your soil. You with me? 5 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes. Now you're going to check, how do you do that? So you can use a professional soil probe or any tool that's long and thin like this that's sturdy enough to penetrate the soil will work. I'm using a weed popper. You can use a screwdriver, a piece of rebar, even a piece of coat hanger wire will work. The reason why this test works is that whatever you're poking into the soil will travel through the soil particles that have water on them. The water acts like a lubricant on the soil particles. So your tool will travel down through the soil, but it will stop when it hits dry soil. So now that we've run our water for 5 minutes and we've waited for about an hour, you can see the wet zone that's created from where the water was dripping. Now I'm going to test it. You test the wetted area where your irrigation ran in about 3 to 5 different locations in the wet zone and average how deep the probe went. Okay, so 2 of my probes were to about here. The last one was to here. So I'm pretty sure that the watering depth is right about there. We found that in 5 minutes, the water traveled 4 inches deep. So now what does that mean? Some of you math whizzes, follow along. If we need 8 inches of wet zone for grass to be healthy, how long should we water? 4 inches, 8 inches. Take the 8 inches, divide it by 4 inches, and you get 2. 2 times 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Now let's go to our vegetables. We want them to be healthy too, right? We're gonna take 12 inches, divide it by 4 inches, and we get 3. 3 times 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Our shrubs, we want the water to go down 18 inches. We take 18 inches, divide it by 4, we get 4.5. 4.5 times 5 equals 22.5. We're going to round that up, a little extra water doesn't hurt, to 23 minutes. And finally we get to our trees. We want the water to go deep for our trees because they have a lot of roots and they travel really far. So 48 inches, we'll take 48, divided by 4, which is 12. 12 times 5 is 60 minutes or 1 hour. So the next question is, how many days do I water? That really does depend on where you live and your individual environment. The best rule of thumb to use is to contact your local cooperative extension, master gardeners, or even your local water utility district. They usually have a set schedule for each season. We like to divide our seasons here into winter, spring, and fall, and summer. So we're usually using 3 different programs for seasons. So I hope you learned a little something today about how to properly water your plants. I bet it answered some of your questions like, why is my tree that's planted in my lawn struggling? Because you're only giving it water for 8 inches of roots. So make sure that at least 1 day a week you are running enough water to get the water deep enough so that the tree in your lawn can grow its roots deep and the tree above can grow big and healthy. I want to thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.